You in my crib. On the floor. With a bitch. On under my cover. This ain't never. This. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What, you his girlfriend? Oh, where y'all meet at? Where y'all meet at, girl? I need to know, cause you in my, so I just need to know. You fine, I ain't even finna fight you. It ain't.
You know you could get them up like that, right?
I could have came here on straight attack mode.
You know what I'm saying? Anything, what's wrong with you, G? You don't think
I could have came in here on straight attack.
Bring me to another girl crib. Like, you can't play like that.
Where is
Can you give me your blog, though, please? Cause
I personally don't give. I know this ain't your issue, but right now, this is the way I'ma stay calm. This is straight bum. You kick out and he come to your old crib and bring a bitch and lay on the floor. Yeah, I'm moving out. Y'all clearly see I'm moving out. But damn, sis.
I got a crib.
Yeah, you got a crib. So why you ain't got a her crib, Trey Shine?
He was just at our house. His dad said he needed to be here. He needed to be here.
Our house. Oh, y'all got a house together?
No, I have a house.
Uh-huh.
I have a crib.
How long y'all been around? I missed this part. I'm just asking questions, sis. I need to know the details behind this.
Something wrong with your ass.
How long y'all been around?
Girl, I just met this nigga.
You just met him? Oh, damn. Talking about beat us for what? What I'm gonna beat us for? This the bum. This the bum. We ain't together, so why you in my crib? That's clear we're not together. We all know we're not together. You just got put out 2 seconds ago out my other crib crying. You're a bum. Look at this bum. This is sad. Look at this crib. I wouldn't even lay it in this bitch if I was her. Hell nah. You want me to come lay on the floor and I got a whole crib? You got to be kidding me. Cole, just know. Just know that's all you gonna be getting, you bum. That's all you gonna be getting. See you later. Laid up in my embedded crib. Would it be? Look at him walking. Look at him walking away, y'all.
Salutations. Let me make sure everybody can hear me. Let me make sure everybody can hear me. Type in ones if you can hear me. It's been a crazy one today. Type in some ones. Let me make sure everybody can hear me. Give you a second. Make sure everything's good on my end. Can you guys hear me? Type in one. Got 100. Dude, I won't mention anything about him. Bad part about it. I got my sports podcast that's starting up, and I'm probably going to start with that this week, posting videos on that. So yeah, we won't do the whole LeBron little spiel because I'm pretty sure some of you have some things to say about that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But I had a very crazy day. My bass is in the shop. I can't believe it. I had something done to my bass, and it sounds amazing. But I guess the guy that put it together thought it'd be a good idea to put a big old white block on the back of a walnut body bass. I mean, it's noticeable too. If it was black, you probably say, okay, I can live with it until I can get it fixed. But it's a big white block. It's almost like a Band-Aid in the middle of your head, and somebody saying, you can't help but ask, what happened to your forehead? I can't believe he did that to my base, but it sounds amazing. I'm liking it, but hopefully when I go out of town this weekend, I can have it. But if not, then I'll make do. But I'm upset about that. But anyway, how are you guys doing? I see you, Donnell. How you doing, Trina? How you doing, Miss Lynn? Hey, how you doing? I don't know who this other guy is, but how you guys doing? I hope your day is going well. Outside of that, my day's been going pretty decently. I got a few phone calls to make, but I'm pretty good. Today started off. What up, Fred? What up? Today started off crazy with all the stuff you guys send me. You send me a lot of stuff, and this thing came on board, man, at the last minute. I think Anthony sent this to me. Scrutinize this. That's his name on YouTube. You should go follow him. He's very, very entertaining, to say the very least. But he sent this to me, and I've always said that with the whole body positivity thing with the fellas, and I'm going to talk to the fellas right now. I'm not even going to wait. It seems like with us, it's always body positivity when it's relating to women, particularly our sisters. You know, you're not allowed to say anything or whatever. And the second you say something to them, it's always an issue. But one of the things that they get to do is go at men. They get to say some of the most disgustingly despicable things you can ever say to men. And we always let it just slide because there's no, we don't have a voice out here. There's no red table. There is no anything, no talk show where men just can talk about the stuff that we go through. And we're not allowed to get on Twitter and say things, especially if you are celebrities that we'll be talking about later. We'll talk about that later. But if you're celebrities, you can't say anything about them. But I saw something. So the movie Creed 3 is coming out. I'm pretty sure some of you are going to see it. I'm not necessarily sold on it. I got off Rocky after Rocky 5. I saw Creed 1, and no, that's not the same thing, Trina. They have daytime shows, nationally syndicated shows that have funding behind them that we don't have. So we can stop that right now. Stop the cap. Where you at? Where is it? No, where you at?
Stop the cap.
So you can stop the cap right now. We don't have a national platform. There is not one male national platform we can get on. And like you had Sally, you had Oprah, you had Ricky Lake, you had Jenny. You didn't have that for us. Men have podcasts on YouTube and shows like this. So I get 15, 12, 20 people to watch, and I'm okay with you. And I thank you guys for watching. But at the same time, we don't have millions and millions of people watching. And the one time we did, y'all wished him dead. And when he did die, you guys celebrated in the street like you won a championship. So, we can save that. But I saw the movie Creed is coming out, and a man named Jonathan Majors, he's actually going to be the villain in this movie. He's going to be the one that Creed, Apollo's son, has to fight. So he was covered on the cover. And yeah, 1 and 2 were okay. They were just okay. And Ant-Man Friday, I'm waiting on Ant-Man. But anyway, he's on the cover of Ebony magazine. And on the cover of Ebony magazine, some people had some things to say. As you can see right here, he's on the cover of Ebony magazine. He's laid up with all his muscles, showing and everything else. But if you could read the caption at the very top, and I will read it for you just in case you can't see that small. It says, I find his face so ugly, but the body is something serious. Now, are we allowed to say this in public about Lizzo or anybody else and not get rebuked? So if men look at Lizzo and we say she looks like a hippopotamus, we are excoriated. We are, you body positivity. But they look at this man and they're saying he's ugly. And one of the things that I have seen about men, the more African your features, the more ugly they call you. The more European your features, the more fine and gorgeous that they call you. I'm thinking that's weird because you're saying big nose, larger lips. That is indicative of, our ancestors. And so when I saw this post, he looks like he probably would pass during slavery, but not now. Just hideous. it speaks to what I've always said. The more African your features, the more hideous they think you look. Some men do have African features and you think they are nice looking, but you call them handsome and you call them whatever, but I've never seen them call them pretty boys. The pretty boys are always the light-skinned ones or men who have majority European features, smaller nose, smaller lips, lighter skin. And when I see posts like this, now these are ladies, the least desirable crew that has this to say, I completely see how mammies, are you guys reading this? Find him attractive, though. It makes sense. All you really have to be is a black man. Now, I think they may be calling them mammies, you know, our European brothers or sisters or whatever. They're calling them mammies. All you have to be is black man, ugly or not. And he has muscles. I'm saying muscles on purpose. I know how to read. And they're losing their minds. And he has a biracial child. Black women will love him down. And then look at the post under it. This man is not attractive and he has zero sex appeal, and that's the issue here. You see this, right? I hope you guys are reading this. This is what I'm saying. Look at this. Wait, is this the same thing? Okay, go to this. He's like civil rights. Listen to this. He's like civil rights attractive. But outside of that era, it's a no for me. Are you guys reading this? This is the LD crew. This is the LD crew. This is the least desirable demographic out of every other demographic in this country who are going at the only men who will settle for what you're giving. And this is what you decide to say. This is what you decide to say. Look at this. Bro look like a horny freedom fighter. You cannot wait, Sam, Kevin, are you around? Are you around, Kevin?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
And that's crazy. The more African your features, the more they find you unattractive. Now, I know you got some people saying, we know this. We know this. We at this point, you've been watching me long enough, you know I don't deal in absolutes. But even if it's 2 or 3, it's disgusting for you to even say that about men who look like you. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And this is what men have been saying. And I'm wondering if some of you are actually really listening when we say, hey, this is what's happening. We feel like we're powerless. We have to accept this. And even if it's 1 or 2 or 3, go to Lizzo page. If you see any man comment on there, you're going to see 365 comments on there with women going at him saying a couple of things. And then they even bring up his mom. Your mom's big. But if they're allowed to say this, and when I get off of here, I'm going to go to this post and I'm going to see what they're really saying. And I'm going to see how many people actually stood up to them and said, oh, that's not funny. But I guarantee you, when I post those clips, you're going to not see many people going at them. In fact, you're going to see a whole lot of laughing emojis. Girl, I know that's right. Everything else. Because you have been allowed to say whatever you want to men, but we can't say anything. And if anybody says anything about your behavior or anything like that, oh, you're bashing women, or you don't like black women. If you care so much, then go to these posts and light these women up. Don't tell us we're not all like this when you sit in silence and let them do this. You sit in silence and let them do this because it damages you too. It damages you because if the men say you all are like this, not me, we're not going to take a chance on that. A lot of these brothers, they said, I'm done with you. They say, I'm done with you. Which leads me to this. It's so bad that some men decide that they would rather, now this is not me. I'm not going at people for doing what they do, but it's this group of men who now have decided that they will use their passports to go abroad and find women. They will go abroad and find women. But there will always be simps who will go at us, fellas, even when we decide to do something different. Check this out.
I can speak from experience. This is what the passport boys won't tell people. Most of these women they come from third world countries. They come from poor places. So they're looking for opportunity. So when these guys go over there with money, cause you're not bagging you're not bagging no girl over there unless you got money. You coming out your pocket. So when you buying a passport to go to another country and you coming out your pocket to pay for these women, that is not a flex. And if this woman is poor, of course she's going to cater to everything you want. That doesn't mean she's better. That just means you an opportunity and she capitalizing on it. And then some of y'all go to these clubs where these business ladies are actually charging for their entertainment. And y'all putting videos up of these nice looking women in these hotel rooms with them, but y'all paying for that. It's not a flex when you pay for a woman overseas to entertain you when she charges for that entertainment. That's not a flex.
This fool don't know what he's talking about. First of all, I'm in a few men groups, more than a few. Let me tell you something. That's not always the case. In fact, some of the men actually come home with wives. Some of them actually stay there and start a family with these people. And they don't all go to third world countries. That's bullshit. They don't. That's what you want to hear. But that's not true. If you would watch in any of these groups, if you read and if you actually listen to some of these men, they would tell you, no, it's not like that. We don't go to third world countries all the time. I mean, okay, they would go to a third world country and get a woman, even if they were. What's the difference between that third world country and up the street in the hood? What's the difference? And anyway, all relationships are transactional. You're going to pay one way or another. Over here, you're going to pay, and most likely you're going to pay in child support and everything else. You're going to pay. You think it's free? You think what I show you weekly about some of the stuff that these women say, you think it's not free here? So you thinking go overseas, you're going to spend money. You're going to spend money here. You're going to spend money whether you want to or not. And these guys have decided that if I'm going to spend my money, at least I can get what I want. I can get a woman that cares if she's in shape. She's not no big silverback running around here. She at least looks nice. If I can go over there and get a better woman, why wouldn't I? Now, me, that's not my thing, but I'm not going to go with them. If that's what they decide to do, what's the difference? You're going to pay one way or another. We got women out here that won't go out with men that decide that men are just good, what they call that? They go out just to get meals. You paying one way or another. So why does it matter if they go overseas? Which brings me to this point. You spent the last few years saying we scrub, we dusties, we this, we that. And then when they decide they're going to go somewhere else, now these same men that you call dusties and everything else, you don't like them, they this. You actually got people on YouTube right now that are saying if you are pregnant and you find out that the child is a male, you should abort it. You got that level of misandry, and then these men just saying, I want to go somewhere else, I want to try something different. Now you mad at them for doing that. It's like we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. We should just sit here and just accept whatever you want to give us when you are ready. Foodie calls. Because to be honest, I have another opportunity. We know in IT, those of us in technology and engineering, we know those opportunities, they pop up. I have another opportunity. But unfortunately, the neighborhoods that I once called home, some of those neighborhoods, and we're going to turn it around. Don't get me wrong. We're going to do our thing. But it's still depressing to see what's the difference between what I see there in a third world country when you go up the street and you got 14 different boarded up houses that will never be used, and you drive up the street and you see a dude just sitting outside wondering where his life could have been had he been somewhere else. But then these the people that you say, hey, that's not third world. The people that you think you talking about, that's not us. That's not our reality. Majority of our people going to be average and below in this country. So you want to say, oh, they're going to a third world country. You go up the street and all we got liquor stores, barbershops, and hair salons. That doesn't sound like a dawning of a new day to me, bro. It doesn't. So don't get mad if men decide to try something. If these men, now here's the thing. If you have a passport and you can afford to go to these places, then obviously you got a little money. Because last I checked, it's not cheap to go over to some of these countries, even the quote-unquote third world ones. And we don't go to third world countries to get women. That's stupid. They go third world countries to get laid. But they could do that here. But silverbacks, manabees, hood bandits, but I can get somebody that's, if I feel like I get somebody better over there, I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem there. But see, over here, fellas, we have something else we have to deal with because some of us have fallen victim to this. We've fallen victim to this. Read this meme real fast. It says, when a girl replies, "Oh, thanks," it means she's politely asking you to return to the friend zone that you've tried to escape from. Listen, I saw this was sent to me, but it's so funny because this used to be me. I used to be with these women, used to thinking, oh yeah, if I can show her I'm a good friend, no. Fellas, if you're ever in the friend zone, you might as well move on. I mean, I'm not saying this person cannot be your friend, but that's all you. If she puts you in the friend zone, then just leave it alone. Then I was asked, what happens if I'm in the friend zone? I got a friend that's in the friend zone. What should I do? Leave. You're never going to be, because if you were such a great man, that stuff only happens in the movies. When she gazes into your eyes and you gaze into hers and she says, you've been here for me. I love you. And then you do this kiss, the movie kiss. You do the movie kiss. That only happens in the movies. In real life, you stay in that friend zone until you old. And then you wake up and realize, man, I've been in this friend zone. I've been doing everything for her. I've been giving, no, you haven't really. Most of y'all in this friend zone, y'all don't give really good advice. I can tell you that right now. You give her advice because you don't want to tick her off, because you don't want to mess up your chances. So you don't really give her the real. You give her what she wants to hear. But then in the end of the day, now you're mad because you find out she going to keep you in the friend zone forever. But this is where you belong. This is where you deserve to be, because you didn't play your cards. This is, fellas, the ball is in your court now. If you level up, handle your business, the ball is in your court. But you still shouldn't be playing these games, because these women that really quite honestly are out your league, they're not going to give you the time of day. You're going to stay in that friend zone. Friend zone. Husbands are, this dude said, oh God, husbands all up in the friend zone. Get out. Steve Urkel. Thank you. Steve Urkel. Listen, that show was prophetic than a mug. It was prophetic than a mother falcon. I'm going to tell you, because listen, Steve Urkel, he was sweet. He was kind. He did everything for Laura, right? But it wasn't until he became Stefan with all the swag and the smoothness and everything else that she actually started to like him. She didn't care nothing. She treated Steve Urkel like trash. She treated Steve Urkel like trash. But when he was Stefan, it was one episode where I think she did something to trick to try to make Stefan stay forever. I could be wrong, but I think it was something that she did that was kind of nasty. She didn't want Steve to ever come back, so she wanted to keep Stefan around because that's who she really wanted to be with. That's the perfect example of friend zone. You're never going to be Steve Urkel, because in the real world, Steve Urkel, he doesn't exist like that. You cannot turn that on and off unless you level up. Now, having said that, I can attest to the Steve Urkel, because that was once me, the nerd, the dude that nobody want to know or whatever. Now they see me much years later. They see, oh God, he's on. Look, he's here. Oh my God, he's taking pictures with his degrees. Oh my God, he's got this opportunity doing this. He's got these multi-million-dollar deals that's gonna come his way. Oh, he's starting to look real good to me, girl. Shut the falcon up. It ain't happening. That's what he should have did. I think in the last episode she was starting to feel Steve. Nah. Don't stay. Nope. Yeah, that's what happened. She sabotaged the machine. Yeah, that's what she did. I remember that episode because I remember getting ticked off even then. And even though I didn't know as much as I did now, because I actually talk to people now and I have conversations, but then I didn't. But even as a younger man, I understood that was kind of jacked up. But it's pretty much par for the course. It's pretty much par for the course. So stay out that friend zone. Now, let me say this. We like to do stuff. I think don't play a game that you can end up hurting somebody. If somebody hurts you or she does something foul to you, fellas, don't try to get even. Just leave. Let your legs do the walking. This guy right here, he thought this was a boss move, but I think it was a real simp move. Check this out. He says she's leaving me because I don't understand how she wants. I don't understand what that means. It said now she's flying 2,000 miles to be with the fake man I created on Tinder. This is a simp move. You don't need to do this, fellas. If she doesn't want you, move on. If you are a man of value, a sophisticated, educated man, you will have your options. You don't have to deal with somebody that doesn't want you. Ladies, same thing for you. You don't have to deal with the man that doesn't want you. If he doesn't want you, just walk. You don't have to do stupid stuff like this. This is not a flex. To me, this is not a flex. This makes yourself look weak. And she's not going to respect you because now you started another argument. She's going to look at this and say, oh my God, you just so petty. You a child, because this is childish behavior. You don't have to fly her out 2,000 miles to be with a fake man you create. For what? What did you prove? Because in the end, she's still not going to want you. If she doesn't want you, just leave it alone. It's really that simple. That goes across the board. That's for everybody. If they don't want you, just leave them alone. Don't try to get even. Don't try to say, oh, I'm going to get you back. I need you to hurt like I hurt. You don't need to do that. That starts a whole lot of other issues. You don't want to do that. Just leave it alone. This is not a flex, fellas. And all the dudes that was like, yeah, gang, he won for the win. No, it's not for the win, man. It's for the loss. You're taking an L here. You're taking an L. First of all, I'm not paying 2,000 miles to fly nobody nowhere that unless it's going to be some, hold on, let me move this out the way so you can see. Gonna get them cheeks clapped if I pay you to go 2,000 miles. It's gonna be some marinating going on. Them cheeks gonna get clapped up. I don't know. That's 2,000 miles. That's the other side of the world. Nah, we ain't doing that. Okay, now before we move on to Preachers Gone Wild, fellas, let's talk about this because this is a subject that we've been seeing a lot of. Now, I have a membership at a gym, but my time doesn't allow me to go, so I'm losing weight the old-fashioned way. And I think I've lost quite a few pounds, matter of fact. This suit jacket is not fitting as snug as it once has. I'm happy with the weight loss that I've been doing. I'm actually putting in the work. See, I'm not going to tell you something that I'm not doing. Ladies, I know I'm always on you saying you need to drop those pounds. But remember, I told you, what was it, a few months ago? I'm on it with you. But I stayed on it. Saturday, I ate. I was with Scrutinized. I was with Miss Lynn. We had us a nice meal. It was dope. But they would probably look and say, he really didn't really eat like that. He didn't really smash. I had a little bit of stuff or whatever. Now, I ate. But I'm telling you, I've been on this weight loss thing. But I don't go to the gym, which I will do. I will find a way to get to the gym, even if it's early in the morning. Stand up and let us say I'm not for the stand up because it requires me to get off this headphones. You will see me in person one day, Trina. Those people, Miss Lynn and Scrutinized, they'll tell you he is slimming down. Would you please tell them, Scrutinized? You just saw me Saturday. Miss Lynn, would you please tell them you just saw me Saturday? I am dropping these LBs. I think I've lost close to 20 now. I've lost close to 20 pounds. I was getting too big, and I needed to do something about it, and I decided I wanted to. But I'm telling you, that fasting thing, that fast, I forgot what it's called, intermittent or whatever, that fasting thing works. I fast when I first get up, and I may drink some water or something like that. I may eat like some fruit or something, and then I won't eat anything until that evening. So I may go like 12 hours, and sometimes on a Tuesday, if I got church or Bible study or rehearsal, I may not eat until after 8. So you got that whole time, whatever, where you just drinking water, and if I eat anything, it's like a banana or orange when I'm at the center or whatever. But when I tell you, it absolutely does work. We were very disciplined Saturday, yeah. Yeah, you see, he saw it. I'm telling you. Yeah, listen, hear it from me. Listen, Nancy, it absolutely does work. And it shows you discipline. And I like to always say I have discipline. I have discipline on a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things I have discipline on. And food is one of those things. I don't necessarily have to eat. Like I ate my meal for today. If I eat anything, it's probably going to be some carrots, some celery. I love blueberries or mangoes, some fruit, you know what I mean? Something like that. And then I may drink some water. And I try not to drink so much water before I go to bed so I have to get up in the middle of the night. But yeah, that absolutely works, y'all. And when I tell you it really works, it works wonders. I'm happy with my weight loss. But anyway, we go to the gym. But what men have been getting scrutinized. We've been getting scrutinized because we go to the gym and we see this. Now, even though that's back in crack, y'all get where this is going because I'm going to bring the real cream. It's been said that we're like creeps. Wow, that's great, man. No bread. Right. And that's another thing, no bread. I like bread sandwiches, but I watch my carb intake, though. I mostly just eat like chicken, fish, or something like that. But look, you go to the club and you see that. You go to the health club, you see this. You trying to work out, and this chick bending over in front of you, even though, like I said, if you can see that thong past the cheeks, then ain't really that good. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's been said that we have been creeps because look, as men, we're going to look. Men, be honest. Fellas, this your night right now, at least right now. Be honest. If you go to the gym and you see some chick in front of you, you're going to at least take a glance. I didn't say you're going to be like, I didn't say you're going to be that. I didn't say you was going to be like that, but you do see this. Because there is no way you can go to the gym and see.
Run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going.
Listen. If you go to the gym and she's wearing that, working out in front of you, ladies, what do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to do, ladies? I don't think it's creepers if a man looks. I think it's creepers if he like got his phone out and he like, taking pictures or sliding it under while you working out and stuff like that. Yeah, that's creepy behavior. But if he just glances, some of you and some of these ladies, they want that attention. They want you to look, but then they get mad when you do. You knew when you left the house that your butt cheeks was hanging out of them things, and you still decided to go. Now, some ladies actually take something and they tie it around their waist so they don't, we know you like to wear your workout stuff, but you'll tie something around your waist so you don't have all your butt cheeks hanging out. Or if your endowment is in your breasts, you may not want to have the tightest thing look like you got on a see-through bra or something like that with your areolas hanging out everywhere. And your massive mammaries and everything else. Men gonna look. That's what we do. That's the first thing. That's the first trigger for a man to even approach you to be in a relationship. It's his physical sexual attraction to you. So you go to a gym dressed like you half naked with every crack and crevice showing, and you want men, heterosexual men, not to look. What the falcon sense does that make? But in this society, we're deemed to be creeps. Because we're not supposed to look. This woman who's nicely endowed will walk into the gym with just the tightest thing ever when you seeing camel toes, camel feet, and everything else. And we supposed to be like, no, D, no, D, no. But everything she got on. Everything she got on, and they sit in the corner and they think it's so funny. They laughing at us because they think it's the funniest thing ever. But in their mind, they telling us, oh, you a creep. But really, in their mind, they said everything, come here. They want us to look. What are we supposed to do, ladies? Not the silverbacks. We don't look at you. To be honest, we're happy you're there. We'll wait until we see the results. But I'm talking about you stacked ladies. What are we supposed to do? Would you rather us not look when you come into, and the peak hours where men are going to be there, the peak hours, you still show up with your bosom buddies out. Just, I'm working out. Oh, don't mind me. Don't mind me. And then just, we're not minding you. Come on. You can't make this shift up. What do you expect us to do? Fellas, we got to be on our games. We have a lot. We deal with a lot. I don't think the ladies really understand. And I trust me, I understand the struggles, especially your sisters. I understand your struggle. I may not be able to sympathize with you because I'm not a woman. But the stories that you guys tell me, I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow, I'm hurt. Not sympathize, but I mean, you know what I mean? I can't imagine what you feel because I'm not a woman, but I can sympathize with you. My mistake. But yeah. But the stuff that we go through, because now we have to exercise with the tent revival. Because if you see a woman looking like that coming in, I'm going to show it one more time. Now, mind you, I'm okay. I'm okay. But some of my fellas may not have a woman that's going to make them.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it.
Nah. Hell no. Hell. Y'all got a brother sweating up here. I'm literally sweating. Cause that whole subject is got me in preacher mode. These lights is killing me too. Man, dude, I'm telling you, that's a touchy subject, but it's a subject that's crazy because you thinking you going to work out. And most of the time it's pretty chill. But every now and then you get somebody come in and you like, dang, no, you literally, the last time I was I'm paying a gym membership that I'm not even using. They making so much money off of me, it makes no sense. But still, the last time I was there, most of the time I start I got weights here, so I don't necessarily need to go there for that. I just get on like the walking machines, the bikes and stuff like that for cardio. But the last time I was there, this chick walked in and what she had on was like so crazy that I was like, she left the house with this on. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. But it didn't stop her from, she did what she had to do. She still worked out, but it was crazy. But speaking of shirts off, this was sent to me a while ago. I'm just now getting to it, but this is going to mess you up because some of the stuff we see in church, you have to see it to believe it. I would listen, I already have me a sweatshirt made that says you cannot make this up. You can't make this up. I'm going to start selling these shirts, y'all. I'm going to put it down here so y'all can say, so y'all can support me by buying some of these shirts. I got sayings that I say here. You can't make this shift up. That's coming. Or you can't make this up. It's already a sweatshirt. I got it. I should have wore it, but I got it. I'll probably wear it when I do my sports podcast or whatever. But yeah, that's this dude right here took it to a whole nother level. Check it out. The stuff that goes on in church.
Stop it. Get some help.
We need to just do something about it. we do too much in church sometimes. I mean, I listen, we don't know what his story was. The Bible says David danced out his clothes. Now, those of us who are Bible scholars, we know he literally didn't dance out his clothes. He wasn't butt naked. It was royalty garments that he danced out of. and his wife didn't like it. She was actually kind of ticked off. But we always say he danced out his clothes. His clothes. I said, oh, no. But this dude literally danced out his clothes. What would you do in this situation, though? Me, personally, I probably wouldn't have played. I'd be like, are we really finna exploit this dude? You know, can somebody please just cover him up? I know now my apostolic brothers and sisters, they would have escorted him up out of there. They'd have been like, come on, brother. And they would have taken him down, get him some white, run him right in that water. Dude, I would have just, I don't know. Kojic, I don't know what we would have done. I'm thinking in my church, what would they have done? They probably would have taken him out. And I don't think it would have been pretty. To be honest, I think our deacons was like thugs. They would come in rolling rakes, like, come here. But that was wild. But it wasn't even the wildest thing that I ever seen. To date, I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, yes, he's here now. The one that we've been waiting for. Precious Daddy Bailey. Thank God for precious Daddy Bailey. Oh, put your hands together. God's man is in the building.
Now, from what I'm understanding, he's not able to move like that. That's what I've been told. So I'm going to exercise a little grace here. I still think this is a little bit much, in my opinion. I don't know if I would have done it this way. It just seemed like this is just a little bit much. I understand. I mean, what was he supposed to do? Roll him down the wheelchair? I don't think that's a good look. You up here preaching and saying, hey, God can heal, and then you come down in the wheelchair. But something tells me, no offense, that a lot of your ailments come from something that's obvious that we don't need to go through. We don't need to go there. But nevertheless, I was told that he was in the wheelchair, some junk like that, or whatever. But now tell me if I'm off base here. To me, that's just a little bit too much. You can tell me if I'm off base. I can accept it. They put in their head man a pedestal, and it was the commentary for me. Like, he has arrived. I'm like, a little bit much. A little bit much. And I think sometimes we tend to put these people like Susan said, we tend to put them on pedestals. How you doing, Susan? We put these people on pedestals, and it turns into something. He can move. It's just how they honor their pastor. Let me see what he's saying there. The one down here has a lake, with a bridge put under the surface, and every Easter he would walk. Oh, that's crazy. That's what they do with the house of prayer. I see. Man, that's crazy. Do y'all now, honestly, do you think sometimes we go overboard with our honoring of our leaders? Do you think we do? Yes or no? Do you think we go overboard with our honoring? I believe we should honor them, but do we go overboard? Is it almost to the point of worship? Is it there? Like the place where I play, I love Bishop. Bishop is one of a kind, and I got great respect for him. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be in a gold-laced chariot with it. Man, he wouldn't even want that either. He'd be like, I don't want that. No. Just give me a church. Come on, boy, play. That's what Bishop would have said. But some people do like that. I mean, and that's why I say I have respect for people who are pastors. I know people think I don't, but I do. I'm hard on prophets, not necessarily pastors. I'm hard on prophets because you actually say you're hearing from God and you're telling me something that God has physically told you. That's something totally different. If you desire to be a pastor and you're a great leader, I have respect for you, but that's something I just personally couldn't do because I couldn't take the stress. But that's another reason why I honor you, because you deal with a lot more than average people could ever imagine. See, you got people out here that think the only thing you do is rob the people and everything else. And that's not true. I know some of you, I'm going to take one of your playbooks. Not all. I would say a great majority of pastors are not like that. You just don't hear about them because you're too busy running up after the mega ones. But the real pastors out here, even some of them one you call mega, they're really good people. They're not robbing people. A lot of them got their own businesses. They had their own shock of wealth. I would say a great deal of them are not like that. And then you let the ones that are really like that, you let them ruin and give you a bad representation of what being a pastor really is. And the really good pastors, they have an amazing amount of patience. And guess what? They don't want your worship. They don't want your worship. They just want you to do right. They just want you to do right. They don't need the whole fanfare with you coming down with, I mean, they don't need all of that. The only thing they need is their people to actually listen to them and heed their words and actually do. When they can see you actually, your life becoming better and you're doing better and the church is growing and everything else and they're flourishing and they're helping the community and doing things for the community or whatever, man, that pastor's like, I'm on cloud 9 right now. Those are the good pastors. I don't know who y'all following, but you keep going back. And when you don't, you migrate to another church that's the same way. So the common denominator is, do we really need to go there? I'm going to leave it alone. Sorry, Nick. I'll leave it alone. Okay. Now, this was sent to me, and I'm just going to wait. I'm going to give commentary, but I really want to know what you guys think about this. Here we go.
We talk about church hurt, but some of y'all sit in these seats and y'all like to bully pastors. I ain't her. What you doing? You disrespectful. Y'all like to sing, but when the word come, you in your phone. Disrespectful. And if somebody's sitting and scrolling while you're doing worship, it's a problem. See, we got to get God's house right. We got to get God's house right. Take me off live stream because I got more to say. Take me off live. We'll see y'all next time. Disrespectful.
So, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say? She said it was disrespectful. Then she said, take it off live. Me personally, you know, she was a little bit aggressive for my taste, but that's just me. It's just certain things that trigger me, you know. I just think she was a little bit aggressive. But do you agree with what she said? Do you believe that people, when they're on the praise and worship, that when the preacher's up preaching, that they're on their phones? And I've been seeing a lot of posts about this lately, musicians staying where they are, people on their phones or whatever. Do you agree? Do you agree that he was being disrespectful? That's all I want to know. I'll wait till I see at least one comment. Help me out. Help your boy out. Do you think he was being disrespectful? I'll give you a second. Seeing what you saw, do you think he was disrespectful? She should be thankful the 11 members of the congregation instead of rebuking. Oh God. James. Well, yeah. I don't like the way she put him on Front Street. You know, she could have that's something you could have did later. You know, you could have said, you know, oh well, hey, you know, I didn't like that you was on the phone. Please don't disrespect me like that. What's up, Willie? I would say don't disrespect me like that. I'm a little bit different. Like in rehearsals, I can be a little bit like that because it's rehearsals, just us. But like if it's cameras and everything, lights, camera, action, I would be a little different. A little different. Because I wouldn't want people to go there with me. So I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. If you're going, let me see what Craig is saying. Craig say, if you're going to scold your members, you should never be live. I agree. I will say that, yes, you should be attentive while service, but let's face it, that is what people do, not saying right or wrong. And I believe, yeah, I think so. And I think in this day and time, people are going to be on their phone. I'm just hoping that I can say something that'll keep you, I mean, make no mistake about it. When you are preaching, you're still being an orator. You still have to keep people engaged. You have to keep people engaged. I think the more masterful preachers like your Todd Halls, your Matthew Stevensons, those people, they know how to keep you engaged. They know how to captivate with their ability to speak. They're very good speakers, and they know how to do that. That it is, make no mistake about it, as long as you have people facing you and you are up on the stage, you still have to keep their attention. Period. We can try to go all around this and everything. You say, but he really brought the word, but he was boring. Nobody wants to hear. Part of the reason why you guys are even here, because you are hopefully entertained. But if I was just on here, yeah, you can't go out with these men. You should just stay by yourself and let's just go to preachers going wild and we're going to get, you'll be like, what is this? And I don't like monotone either. If you're a monotone preacher and God said you need to go where you need to go and he's going to do, you be like, and I don't, another thing, and I'm really going there, and God, and you need to know, if you look at the Bible, God is going to do the amazing thing with you. And to me, that's going to drive me up a wall. That I don't like that, because after a while, I'm not going to hear what you're saying. I'm going to hear, that's what I'm going to hear. And you're going to be like, why does he need a peppermint? Why is his mouth so dry? No. I think we need to really understand that and face the facts. If somebody's on their phone while you're talking, then obviously you're not saying something that they want to hear or they don't care to hear. That's why I respect these people who can get in front of a mic and preach to people, because I know how difficult that is, because everybody's not going to listen to you. Some people are going to be in their own world, and I know how frustrating that is. I know how frustrating that can be. But you have to, thank you, Michael, you have to be able to connect to people. And like I said, the better speakers, they know how to do that. Like when I'm talking on these panels, I know how to engage people. I know how to say things. I know how to say things that can connect people. I know how to make people laugh. I know how to make people whatever. And believe it or not, ticking people off gets their attention too. Saying things that you know they may not want to hear. That's that castor oil. You got those castor oil messages. You're saying things that they don't want to hear, but they're going to be attentive, because if nothing else, you done pissed them off now. And so now you pretty much can bring them home. The most, and people don't know this, the people that listen to you the most are the people that don't like you. The people that don't like you. Those are the ones that's going to be the most attentive. You think I'm lying? Show me your next recording. Those of you who are music, you write music or you do all of that. Show me the audience of your next recording. I can guarantee you most of the people at your recording not there to support you. They're there to see what you're doing so they can try to top you. Pause. But see, that's the key. You got to be able to keep it. He should not have been on the phone when she was speaking, but if you're not saying anything, well, folks will do. Yeah. But she should have addressed him and anyone else later off the live. I agree, Brenda. I agree. But I mean, some people are very good at keeping people's attention. Some people are very good at that, and they make great speakers. Some of you make better teachers than you do speakers. You make better teachers, and people who follow you will go to you for your teaching. But if they have to listen to you for 40 minutes, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because you're not engaging. They don't see you as somebody that they can listen to. And part of that is being charismatic. And some of that with women is being handsome and with men being gorgeous. That plays a part too. Be honest. If we could keep this 100. Keep it 100. But speaking now, let's get to the cream. There's been a interesting day, and it's still information out here. I'm not going to cover everything, but somebody ticked somebody off. Now, y'all know how I feel. You cannot go at Beyonce without these people coming. Beehive gonna come. Not well. Yeah, they definitely gonna do that, and some of them do that. Now, this is a woman that don't mind that part of it, but still, they came for this lady because she said this.
Any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song, because they want something. That man call himself Jehovah. It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady Beehive? And you call yourself a Christian?
Whew. It's a lot to unpack there. But I'm not going to skate around the obvious before we move on. They was killing that worship music. They was killing that warfare music, man. I'm sorry, them musicians was killing that warfare music. I don't know if y'all was listening. They were going in. That if you go listen, that's probably why she felt so empowered to say what she was saying. We're going to get into that in a minute. I'll see you some of your comments. But her wig is not part of a COVID. Dude, listen. I'm going to get, y'all know me. I'm going to give my take on it. But that band was killing that. I'm sorry. That band was killing it. I would have just like, y'all back here playing. Now let me get back to this. She said if you are a Christian and you go to a Beyonce concert, that you are not a Christian. Then something is wrong, basically. I'm paraphrasing. Thank you, Junior. Yeah, the band for the win. Wait, do I have one? Do I gotta wait? Please, Derek, you gotta have for the win here. Yes, for the win. Yes, for the win. That band, listen, the band was killing. But this is what I will say. This is tough because I know some of you like Beyonce. I'm not necessarily a fan. It's a lot of people I'm not a fan of, and that's fine because I tend to go more towards 70s, 80s. That's my era, and as a bass player, to me, that was the best era of music. You know, those the funkiest bass lines was in the 70s and 80s. You know, and then the 90s came. You can't top. Listen, let's be honest, y'all. The 90s was lit. Now I know some of you weren't born then. But the 90s in R&B was lit. Listen, you couldn't turn on the radio without having something on there. Those of us who in the 90s, you know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. The 90s was lit in music. R&B, there is no better era than the 90s in R&B. We can talk about the 60s, though. The 60s was hard. It was killing. The 80s was more pop. That's when Michael and all of them and Prince and all of them. But when you talk about R&B, it was the 90s, and it's a distant second to find out who's after that. It was the 90s. I don't know what we doing now. Beyonce, I don't know. She wasn't 90s necessarily, but I think maybe Destiny's Child was probably around the later 90s. But you're talking about when New Jack City and oh man, Boys to Men and oh God, we can go on and on and on about the 90s. Man, I might watch New Jack City while I eat my fruit. What you think, Miss Lynn? I'm definitely. You said 90. Okay, Antonio, I can see that. So he said whether she's right or wrong, people have to be convicted by the Holy Spirit. And that's where I'm going to go. I don't believe people are wrong in going to a Beyonce concert. I don't think you are wrong. I'm never the one to judge people based off of what they do. I believe if you're saying you are a believer, then your relationship with God and the Holy Spirit that dwells inside of you will be your guide. And I can help you. You know, some people think I'm smart. I think I'm okay. But I based my things off of analytics. I'm more of an analytical mind, right? But I do read the Bible, and I do understand the Bible, and I understand it better than most people would even believe. But having said that, I think a man should examine himself, even though they was talking about communion. But I think you should examine yourself. I think you need to exercise what we call discernment. If you go to a Beyonce concert and you see some wild ritualistic stuff, because there is a lot of symbolism, you should not be so into the concert that you just totally become numb to the stuff that happens on these stages. I've never been to a Beyonce concert. I've never been to a Beyonce concert, ever. That's not to say I would never go, but it'd be hard pressed for me to go because some of the things that I've seen, some of the stories from people who work with her, some of the things that people have said about her, and some of the imagery that she's actually presented herself will make me say, maybe not for me. But I don't judge you. I don't judge you. Was she wrong with what she said? She said this to her people or the people who were there to listen. It's up to them. It's up to you to decide if you're going to go to this concert. What I didn't like is how people were now trying to dig up stuff on her. They found out that she went to a Beyonce concert and decided to go there. Listen, the internet is undefeated. You hear me? If you did anything, they're going to find out. They're going to find it. And you're going to get caught red-handed. Red-handed, they're going to catch you. Got a chance to catch the Beyonce and Jay-Z concert. It was amazing. A few gospel tunes because we love Jesus. Some Beyonce hits because we stands for that bish. And reggae because we from the rock. So it's a one point in time. Now, if you look at the date on this was 2012, which was over 11 years ago. Then 2014, that's 9 years ago. No, it wasn't even 9 yet. It was 8 and some months. But they went and dug this up in an attempt to try to go at her and say this kills your credibility. You could have been a whore in 2014, but now you're saying you should be waiting until you get married. Does that eliminate what you're saying now? Because if you're coming from a sincere heart that you want to see people do better, and now you're saying it's better to wait till you're married, it doesn't matter. But people will still dig up your past in an attempt to bring you down, not to bring you to repentance, but to bring you down, to say, now look at you, now I'm okay with doing it. And I hate that we do that. I listen, one of the prayers that I have is that we as a people, because we're going to get into it later, but we as a people develop better reasoning skills. And if you keep watching me, I'm going to teach you how to reason. That's why I'm undefeated in debates, because some of y'all can't. Y'all can't, you can't reason. You see a point and you cannot shift. Part of being able to reason is to accept evidence, to accept data, and to just say your data is factual. And that's it. Some of you going to argue to the end. This woman, that was years ago. And because she's been to a concert, have you ever thought that maybe she saw something there that said when she did decide to say, hey, I'm going to live right, I don't want to do this no more, that there were some things that she saw in her memory. Now, there's some things about Beyonce that is troubling. Like the fact that she can change on a whim. She says she doesn't become Beyonce when she's on stage. They said Beyonce says she's a really shy person. But when she's on stage, she turns into an altar person called Sasha Fierce. How many saints you know got alter egos like that? That they can go to this person to act a certain way when they somewhere else. Do you think that's something that you should be promoting as a believer? So if somebody was to bring this up and say, this is troubling to me, I don't think you should go to this concert. Her freaking husband was just on there doing the Last Supper. That's imagery. See, some of you, because you don't have that level of education and you don't know how to decipher and analyze data or anything or literature, you failed literature, that's why they teach it in school. Y'all think that's a class that you just take and we don't need that class. No, it teaches you how to look outside of the box, how to analyze something and form an educated opinion. But because we're so uneducated, when somebody presents something that you should probably take a listen to, you summarily dismiss it because your feelings are involved and you are so emotionally attached to these superstars that you refuse to even listen to reason, even if it comes from a place that's not disingenuous. That's not disingenuous. They come from a sincere place. If I got on here and I said, you know, I don't know about this Beyonce thing. It's something, I mean, everybody's not lying going, you? Everybody's not lying on you. If all these people, former musicians, former security guards, former people who were close to you, saying there's something going on with you, every last one of them is not lying. You got drummers out here talking about you out here killing her cats in the spirit. Everybody's not lying. There is something, but you go ahead. Just don't go like this or like this or like this. Go and enjoy the concert, but don't be oblivious to what you see. If you see something in the spirit, just literally look, look, look. You're like, no, Beyonce over there. Look, look, look. And it's a demon in the corner. And you ain't seeing the demon. He over here in the corner. Look at me. And you looking at you, Beyonce. Oh my God, Beyonce, she's killing. Oh, she's so wonderful. And the demon in the corner. Yeah. What is going on here? That's what I think is happening. We're so enamored by their stardom and their fame and their fortune and their money that we just totally, when somebody says anything to the contrary, we're ready to just erupt. And it got nasty. Some people came for her. She had time. Now, I don't have time to go through it, and I ain't posted. I ain't had time to you know, really get into it. Now, I'm not defending Miss Tiphani here. I'm just giving you a different perspective that we, as believers, need to understand. If somebody is telling you something somebody's doing, like you got people taking shots at people, was that demonic? Y'all really believe? It saddened me that we are this blinded by a lot of this stuff, that it could be right there in your face. What she gotta do? What more could they do in these shows to show you that, you know, who really running it? What more do they have to do? Now, I don't watch it and say, oh God, it's the demon. Oh God, that's what, but I'm not oblivious to some of the stuff that they do. And that's all I'm saying. Don't just turn off your spiritual antennas when it comes to people that you are fans of. And see, Miss Brenda says, you know, nobody has no business sitting in that atmosphere. If they actually got demons swinging from the chandeliers up in there and you can't see it, something wrong. But I believe with some of you in this hive, and you know the bad part about it, that part that she said about the hive, she wasn't lying. That part she said, she wasn't lying. That was absolutely fact. If y'all actually did any research on a cult and how they operate, you will see she's not lying. Y'all dismiss when Dave Chappelle tells about it. You dismiss, I mean, we all pretty much, I think Kanye had his issue, but he wasn't lying all the way. How many other artists have said there's something going on out there and stuff you have to do to be famous out there? And how many people, superstars, have literally, quote unquote, sold their souls for this fame and fortune? Are we just going to dismiss all these stories just because we feel good about somebody's music? Or because we feel like she makes good music and whatever? I mean, that's the part that's flabbergasting to me. Not the fact that you want to go to a Beyonce concert, but the fact that you are willing to say you have the Holy Spirit and you are a believer. And you're on Sunday, but you told this same spirit that can give you unknown tongues and can give you the power to prophesy and tell me what I'm going to wear next week to an Easter program. But you can go to a concert with symbolism everywhere and just be oblivious? See, that's the part that's really troubling to me. Because at what point are you spiritual? Because in the place where your spirituality should be the heightened, it's numb. But when you come around people that you want to rebuke and everything, now you can see clearly. I see clearly. I can see everything. But you can't see what's happening in here? That's the part that kills me. But I'm not going to judge you. You'll never see me on my post telling you shouldn't go. You'll never see me on your post telling you should go. If you say something dumb, I'm probably going to get on your post and say this is dumb. Y'all know me. I'm going to do it. Where is it? I'm going to come on your post and say this. This is dumb. But I try to let people live. I try to let people, do their thing. I don't try to police your page and what you think. I really don't do that. But this became a thing. Now, normally I would go to my regular screen, but we got to go back because I got to show y'all something. Let's have some fun. I went back to my dark screen because I forgot to do the doofus of the week.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I know I just finished going in. And I'm really passionate about that. I'm the kind of person I believe people should live their lives. I believe people should be able to, even if we're believers, our job is not to try to beat people over the head. Our job is to educate and to help, especially those of us who are older. When you start to get like in your 60s and 70s, your job is to guide. Your job is to help people along the way. You guide them, but you don't beat them because that's not going to work. Pause, by the way. Me, I'm not old, I'm not young. I'm right there in the best place. Like if I was a preacher, this would be the perfect age for me in my 40s. But I try so hard not to be the person to tell you what you should do. If I'm asked, I will tell you. But if I'm not asked, I'm more likely going to let you live. I'm going to let you learn and trust that the Holy Spirit that you say you have will guide you. Now, sometimes you do need to be rebuked, but I don't rebuke people I don't know. That's a recipe for disaster. Because you could beat my aspirations. Thank you. She said I'm getting skinny. I am losing weight. But yeah, I try not to be that person. I believe in letting people live. I believe in and I think we should, as believers, I think we should let people live. I think we should let people live. We spend so much time worrying about what other people are doing in their lives on their page or whatever, to the point that it doesn't become a criticism or an opinion. It becomes a rebuke to people that you don't know, and you lose people that way. Have relationships with people that you're rebuking before you do that. But to educate people about what's going on in this world that they may be oblivious to, that they may need education on, then yeah, we need to do that. Some of y'all, and I'm seeing that some of y'all don't really understand how the occult works. Y'all don't understand how witchcraft works. And y'all don't understand anything. Y'all need to read this book called He Came to Set the Captives Free. When you have a chance, read that book. It's called He Came to Set the Captives Free. I wish I had that book. Some of y'all, somebody please, if you have a link to it, you can post it down there. If you're hearing the name of this book, you can post a link down in the comment section. It's called He Came to Set the Captives Free. If you read that book, it'll give you an idea of what you're kind of dealing with when you deal with the occult. It's a story about a lady that was helping this lady be delivered. She was a high priestess in the cult that some people say Beyonce is. Some people say she's a high priestess. I haven't substantiated that, but I think this is something definitely that you need to research. Y'all need to check on y'all people in Michigan, Michigan State. There's been a shooting at the university, Michigan State University. So if you have people in Michigan and that go to that school, you might want to check on them. The police have been called, and it's more gun violence, y'all. We need to do something about this. And I'm not going to talk about that right now. But I really, really want you guys to understand where I am with that. I don't believe we should be doing that to people. So if you're watching my show, you want to go see Beyonce, I'm not going to tell you not to go. But what I will tell you to do is don't turn off your spiritual antennas. Let them ring. Because the Spirit will tell you before you even walk in that building, you need to go home. Now, are you going to listen to that Spirit, or are you going to subject yourself to not listen to the Spirit and be in the situation when you ignored the Spirit of God that told you not to go, and you still go, and then something happened, and you be like, oh my God, but God told you not to go. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen in that, but like I said, don't go into a situation where you see the imagery, and you see everything that's there, and you decide, I'm just going to ignore you Any other time I'm listening to God, we beg weekly to hear from God. We beg weekly. God, let me hear your voice. God, let me let you guide me. God, I'm hearing you. God, I'm here. And then when he tell you, I love Beyonce, are you saying you love Beyonce more than you love the Lord, your God? So he's telling you not to go, and he's sending his messengers to tell you not to go, but because you're so attached to this person, you're just going to ignore that and go anyway? That's the confusion. It's not that we are the stuff that the scandals and the sleeping around and all that stuff that make people laugh. It's the fact that we say we have this special ability to hear from God, but when it's supposed to manifest, we don't demonstrate that. We don't become the light. That's the problem. That's why people don't take us seriously. Because this amazing gift that we're supposed to have, we don't demonstrate it. We do not demonstrate it. Thank you, Marcus. Y'all need to read that book. It's going to change if you want to read the book. Read the book. I read it. I think my mama told me to read this book. I read it. I don't even think she knew I read it. I don't know. Tell me if you saw that I read it. My mother's asking you on here. Tell me if you saw. I think she knows I read this book. It messed me up. It's going to mess you up. Now, I suggest you read this book in the morning. Do not try to read this book at night, because if you don't like horror movies, the fact that this stuff really happened is going to jack you up. And y'all think it's a game out here. There's a whole war going on that y'all don't even know nothing about. Y'all think we fighting about Super Bowl halftime parties. You just don't know what you fighting against. You just don't know. And I ain't never been this deep on this show, but I'm here now. I'm here now. This a whole, they say we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Listen, read this book. That's all I got to say. But let me get to this doofus of the week. Let's laugh, because this is funny, because this goes for all those I don't need a man situations. Check this out. No, not this. Why did you show up again? I'm not thinking about Miss Pearly Cheeks, man. I don't know why that played again. Here we go. Oh, Jesus. Now, listen, did y'all see that? Something happened with my sound. See that? That's God telling me you should. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Let me throw that on. Hold on. I'm going to start it over.
Ow.
Let me start it over, okay? Woo, here we go. That butt cheeks messed me up.
Okay. Ow, bad idea. Fuck, that hurt.
Yeah, you bet.
Ow.
That was so funny, bro. Look, what would make you, that was Tom and Jerry. Those of y'all who used to watch Tom and Jerry, y'all know this stuff used to happen all the time. Tom and Jerry used to be that dang on show that every time you turn around, Tom and Jerry, something would happen to Tom. He would get just totally beat up. He would totally, something would happen to him. It was so funny. Now look at the background. Look at the background. Thank you, Brendan. Check the background out. Now, let me explain this to you. One of the things that I hope to do on this show is to educate you. I want us to come away being educated on some things, right? Yeah, I know. That's cartoon. This is real life. Check this out. This right here, this picture that you're looking at, this is called a logical fallacy. When you get off this live, look up what logical fallacy is. I'm going to teach you something. There are many fallacies that you use when you are having a debate with somebody or a discussion. And you don't want to fall into the traps of using a logical fallacy, because those of us who are intellectuals, we understand what you're doing. We know these fallacies. We've studied them. We've engaged in them, so we can count them away, a mile away. A couple of my favorite ones that you guys like to use, well, there's a few of them, but my favorites is the red herring, which means it's like deflecting. You don't want, it's a point that I made. You don't want to deal with that point. So you kind of deflect it either back to me or to something else. Then this is called a straw man. A straw man fallacy is when you take a point that I didn't make and you distort it, and then you attack that point that I didn't say. You see what I'm saying? So if I say, well, you shouldn't go to a Beyonce concert because it's demonic, and you're saying, well, are you saying all R&B people are demonic? You just brought up an argument I didn't even talk about, but you're going to bring up something else so you can have a debate that way. That's a straw man. Don't do that, because it shows me that you're not ready to have this discussion with me, and that's not good. But my favorite one that I've always seen every day, which brings me to this whole Super Bowl thing, is called the ad hominem. The ad hominem means you don't talk about what I said. You instead attack me. So if I'm going to bring up a point about Beyonce, you're going to say, yeah, but look at all these other preachers. Look at what you did. You just slept with that woman that wasn't your wife. So you shouldn't be able to talk about Beyonce. Does it change the fact that I just said going to Beyonce's concert may have some symbolism that you should not ignore? No, it doesn't. But you decided to attack me. That is what I've been seeing as it relates to this Super Bowl thing, this fiasco. I went live about it yesterday, but let's really dig into it now, because I've been seeing it where people just would rather attack you instead of what you are saying. And we need to stop doing that. We need to exercise our ability to read, and we need to level up. My people, we need to level up. We act like we're not smart people sometimes, because the way we debate, the way we carry on our conversations, and the way we even disagree with each other, it makes people think that we're just doofus, and we're not doofus. But every time somebody talks about one of your superstars,
They get confused, bewildered, lethargic.
woo, every time, to the point that you start attacking people. So let me bring you up to speed. Should I turn on my chats? I kind of want these chats on. Let's do it. Okay. So Rihanna, she did her little thing at the Super Bowl yesterday. And people were talking about it and everything else. Some people liked it. Some people loved it. Some people liked it. Some people said it was okay. Some people said it wasn't too good. And some people said it was trash. So you get all these different perspectives. But then now you see the people, they're really, really fighting in the streets. It's like, raw. Yeah, I looked up and I saw people arguing on it, and I was like, dang, it ain't that serious. But they thought it was that serious. I mean, you would think that I'm walking across the street and people fighting.
The upper room.
Literally sending people to the upper room over this. Now, I'm going to tell you again, I'm not a fan. So for me, it was just okay. But I'm not a fan. So I don't even know many of her songs. I only know where, and I only know the chorus. If you was to play it from the beginning, I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know this song. If you played it from the verse, I wouldn't know it. I just know that part because, unfortunately, kids that can't even say their ABCs know these songs lyrics better than anything else. So I know it. But I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying? I like, let me tell you, this gonna mess you up. When I was coming up, I liked rock music. Of course, gospel. Let's just leave gospel there. It's gonna stay. That's number one. But then it was rock, and then it was jazz, and then the 90s came, late 80s and the 90s. I loved that era. And then, maybe some eclectic stuff. Neo Soul came around. I really liked that vibe or whatever. But I've never really been into the music now. I don't like trap music like that. Some of it's okay. Some of it is okay, but I'm not into it. I'm not in. I've been singing the man, mumble rap. Oh God, what? What the heck did he say? What was that? But so with her, I'm just like, okay, it's all right. She has a pretty decent voice. I grew up in gospel. Singing that's nothing new to me. So whatever. But I'm used to seeing, let me tell you, I'm used to seeing knockdown, drag out Super Bowl performances. Where it's just crazy, yes, cameo appearances are always great. But this is just what I like. This is what I look for. But we had people literally going at people for having their opinion. I remember before Stephen A. Smith actually had something to say about it when he found out that Rihanna was doing the Super Bowl halftime. He was like, that's cool, but she's no Beyonce. He said that, and they lit him up. They lit him up. They was like, oh man, we gotta do something about this. They literally lit him, and he was apologizing. I think he's still apologizing to this day. Because he had an opinion. They felt like he shouldn't say that, but they are able to do that. Now, mind you, the same show where he said that at, they did a comparison between two black actors, male actors, and nobody winced. Nobody said anything. But he couldn't even say that Rihanna is no Beyonce. And to be honest with you, when it comes to performing, yeah, there really is no comparison. Beyonce is like on a whole nother stratosphere as it relates to performing, which brings me to this. Some of you people was even saying, oh my God, she was pregnant. You got to give her a break. Did y'all forget that at the 2017 Grammy Awards, this woman performed pregnant and still gave a pretty decent show at the Grammys? She still performed. I've seen women actually do a host of things while they were pregnant. Now, my friend didn't tell me that every woman pregnancy is different. I understand that. But what I'm saying, we don't know her condition. We don't know we just know she's pregnant. So you cannot say she's pregnant, she did this, when I just showed you it could be done. Many actresses and performers have performed, and one lady even showed that she ran a freaking marathon when she was pregnant. So we can't use that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying she couldn't, the performance, it just was done. So I actually went back and I looked at some more than Rihanna's than I've ever seen in my life. I actually went back and looked at some of the videos over the last day, just some snippets of her shows. And it really wasn't much to it. Actually, she did more last night than I seen in one of her performances. So I was like, okay, she's not that. She got hits. She got songs that y'all like. And that's fine. But see, this is just my opinion. And here's the thing. This is not my professional opinion. This is just me as a regular, casual, music-loving musician person, that it was just okay. But some of y'all just went overboard like you do. Now, wait, let me stop. Let me say this. For one, I understand she is married. They got married. It was a private wedding. She didn't want people to know or whatever. So she is married. But this idiot, I don't like when men bash women for no reason. I think Kevin Samuels and what he did, even though, people liked him, I respected him to a certain degree. But it gave a license to some of the most despicable men to be able to think that they could have the right to speak to women in a very, very disrespectful manner. And some of them have taken to their social media to say stuff like this. Rihanna waited until she became a billionaire to have her kids. Y'all other women can't even wait until y'all know the man's last name. Now, even though you may think this is factual, this was nothing that you should have said. It was a horrible analogy, and it was stupid. Let me tell you something real quick. Men of value, men, sophisticated, educated, and successful men, we don't talk like this. We never talk like this. This is a slight. If you are the type of man you like to talk like this, I would encourage you to stop. I encourage you to stop. Don't do that. Because you make yourself worse than the people that you say you trying to run away from. We don't do that. And ladies, if you see men and they talking like this, you need to leave them men alone because they're bitter. They're bitter. They're very bitter. And bitter men, we do some crazy stuff. We say the worst. You don't have to go there. Because some of y'all men, y'all producing children by more than one woman. In my opinion, that's just as bad because both of y'all made horrible choices. Amen, lights and walls. And I ain't want nothing. Do I even have that? Come here. Come here. I ain't even got it. Dang it. Oh, yes, I do.
I ain't hear no amens, but I ain't wanting any.
I ain't wanting any. I ain't hearing no amens. But I think that was jacked up. But see, the one thing that I've been seeing, and I'm going to go. But the one thing I seen more than anything was statements like this. Riri is a billionaire. Her man is a millionaire. You make $14 an hour. Your man borrowed $20 from you next week. Now, please shut the F up. Listen. What she makes does not change the fact that you can have an opinion. So you have to be rich to have an opinion about somebody that's supposed to entertain you. You have to be rich before you can have an opinion. Let me ask you this question. If everybody just said from jump, before Rihanna even became quote unquote big, from jump they said, hey, let's not support her. Where would she be? So if everybody listened to her first record and said it was trash, where would she be? She got a lot of her success based off of the obvious. She's a very pretty woman, which is why y'all buying her makeup line. If she was popped, y'all would not buy her makeup line. Trust me, if she didn't look as beautiful as she did, you would not buy her makeup line. Stop the cap. Stop it right now. But without some consumers from the jump saying we enjoy your music, she would not be where she is now. The record labels would have dropped her if she's not selling records. So people's opinion does matter to a certain degree. It may not matter now, but what does her being a billionaire have to do? See, this is the problem that we have. We make people feel like because you need to be rich. So how about we exercise that? For all you people who are artists and you think our opinion doesn't matter, then why are you always on Facebook asking us to support your concerts or your musicals or your records or anything else? Since our opinion doesn't matter, why the Falcon are you asking for our support? See, you can't have it both ways. You can't on one breath say you cannot have an opinion, but then you want us to have an opinion because my opinion says I like your music if I'm going to buy it or stream it. You cannot have it both ways, people. So for those of you who feel like we should shut up because we didn't like the show, don't put out a record. Don't do anything that requires anybody. Don't open a business. Don't do anything. Be a public servant for the rest of your life. Because because if people's opinion doesn't matter anymore, the average everyday people who actually are the consumers who pay, who keep this economy afloat, if their opinion doesn't matter, then don't go into business. Don't do any of that because after all, our opinions don't matter. You see how that exploded in your face? That's why you don't want to come for me. I'm not that person. This stuff makes so much sense. That's why I said it's stupid logic to say she's a millionaire, and so who are you? That's dumb logic. She needs us. She is in business. Who's going to buy her stuff? If people decide that her stuff is trash, they have an opinion, she's not going to make money. If she's an entertainer and people decided to turn because her show was so horrible, they would never call her to even do open up at the Old Country Buffet if her show was horrible. But we got people that feel that they can jump on Facebook and tell you to shut the Falcon up because you're not rich. So unless you in the 0.03% of people, you shouldn't have an opinion. That's the dumbest thing ever, and I'm telling you.
Shut the
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
I don't want to take my overlay off. I want you to read what she said. I want you to read what she said. That is crazy. Now I want to hear from you. This is why I opened the floor. Am I wrong in my assessment? Because I can take it if I'm wrong. We can talk about it right now. But I just think that we have taken this too far. And I'm going to say this. I think it's very dangerous for some of you to be so emotionally attached to these people. I said this last night, but I'm saying it again in lights and color. I was in my dark car yesterday, but I'm saying it again. You're too emotionally attached to these celebrities. They don't know you. They're not going to pay your doctor's bill after I beat your aspirations. They're not going to pay your lawyer fees if you beat my aspirations and not sue you, because that's what's going to happen. They're not going to do anything for you. They don't care about you no more than they care about me. You're right in that assessment. They don't care about you or me. But the only difference is I understand the way this thing works. You are an entertainer. An entertainer must entertain the entertainee, which is us. And if they're not doing a good job, the entertainer is not needed. It's really just that simple. It's simple. So people, everything you do, people are not going to like. Some of you, I don't like none of your music. I will never support you because your music is trash. Now, I'm being facetious right now, but nevertheless. But because I'm not rich, that means I can't have an opinion. You need every dollar, ma'am, sir. That's why y'all album covers be like this, because you begging people to buy your record. There's some of y'all look like thugs. Y'all be on y'all record cover like, yeah, Jesus is my pimp. Or something. I mean, crazy. But that's how I feel about it. I just feel like I've been seeing all down my timeline, people taking shots. Now, the production was off the chain. The music was hitting. The music was killing. Listen, they did their thing. The music was killing. I don't know who played, but it was off the chain. I like the music. You know, that got me. I was looking down at my phone at one point, just waiting for this to be over. And then I heard this music, this dope transition, and the drummer. You stupid Willie. But I heard this dope transition, and it made me look up like, whoa, that was dope. But looking at it, the way it was moving and all of that was fine. And the sperm cells, I mean, the people in the white, they were, around, and that was okay. But to me, like I said, which brings me to this. Thank you, Antonio. Yeah, he did his thing. Which brings me to this, though. When The Weeknd did his Super Bowl show and we went at him, I didn't see nobody defending him. Where were you? Where was all the defense then? Y'all didn't go there. Where was that? It almost make me think you pick and choose who you want to defend, and I think that must stop. I just really think that we shouldn't argue over stuff like that. Some people didn't like it, some people didn't. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people thought it was great, some people thought it was okay, some people thought it was horrible, and that's fine. But next time we have something like this, let's not argue over it. Let's just see what about it. Can we have more conversations as people? What didn't you like about it? Okay. And you got people talking about, what was she supposed to do? What was y'all expecting? I don't know. But I just wasn't entertained. I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it for me. Here we go, Keisha. Entertain is amused. I mean, I get that. I get it, but I'm just saying, if I'm not entertaining, you ain't do your job. Period. If you couldn't divert my attention, then you didn't do your job. The music had diverted my attention. And there was a couple of things they did. I was like, whoa. But it's almost like y'all get mad at the musicians for taking the spotlight. Because where I play, if the musicians take the spotlight for some of the artists that I played with, they get mad. Y'all supposed to accompany us. Y'all supposed to accompany us. Y'all musicians, y'all know I'm right. You supposed to accompany us. Anyway. But I enjoyed tonight's show. It was fun. It was fun. Y'all, I love y'all. Y'all keep me on my P's and Q's. I love you guys. Y'all send me so much. And I'm sorry that sometimes I can't get to it. Now I need to let you guys know. the show's like it's an hour, roughly an hour, 30 minutes or whatever. So this is probably will be the length of the show going forward, so I can get off of here. But I do have another podcast for my fellas. We're gonna be doing sports. So that's gonna be fun. Mondays will be for you. You know, for me, the preacher's going wild. That's not going anywhere. But I'm gonna do this sports show. I've been wanting to do one for so long, and I finally got one. And man, listen, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna post videos and topics and stuff like that. It's gonna be a slightly different format than what I do here, because here we talk about a lot of subjects. On the sports podcast, I'm just gonna stick to whatever subject is there. Okay, we're just not gonna shift everywhere unless, of course, it calls for it. But most of the time, it's just gonna be me posting a video, giving my take, and then that's it. And then, you know, when I do live, we'll talk about the topic or whatever. Okay, but anyway, I did enjoy doing this show for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are well. I want you guys to continue to love on each other. Tomorrow's Love Day. Love Day. Tomorrow's Love Day. Don't make no babies tomorrow unless you married. Amen, lights. Don't nobody care about the weekend. Nobody care. He like Bruno, Miss Lynn. We don't talk about Bruno. But tomorrow's Love Day. And here's the thing. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be speaking at the church I play at. I'm going to be speaking and behind a mic, wouldn't you believe. I'm talking about some things, the topic of love. But I'm taking a different direction tomorrow. So it's on the Powerhouse Chicago. Powerhouse Chicago, Archbishop William Hudson. That's the page if you want to follow it. It's tomorrow at 7. So right after they do praise and worship, we're going to switch it. Bishop and Lady Hudson's going to teach, and then I'm going to talk to the singles tomorrow. It's going to be very, very interesting. But I'm going to take a different approach tomorrow. You guys going to see, you might like what I have to say. You might like what I have to say. If you enjoy this show, you definitely will enjoy tomorrow. So I might post the link, so you guys can check it out. It's at 7 tomorrow. But I'll be back next week with another great topic. Yes, I'm on the panel. It's going to be fun. No, it's not a panel. I'm just talking. It's just going to be me. It's going to be interesting. Amen. Listen, no more November babies. How many of y'all actually celebrate Valentine's Day? It's not my favorite holiday. I know it's not Scrutinized's favorite holiday. How many of you actually celebrate that day? And not with, hold on. I mean, actually really celebrate it. You actually really celebrate. You actually have a great time. We had our time Saturday. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Antonio says he doesn't. Okay. I know Scrutinized. You don't even have to answer, my boy. I already know. Let me switch this. How many of you actually say you don't enjoy Valentine's Day? You don't participate. You say I do. Okay, I guess it's not letting me do my chat overlay. Oh, there it is. Who is we? I mean, anybody. Do you celebrate Valentine's Day? Do you celebrate? Some people who are married, I'm pretty sure you celebrate it. We went out. Oh, Keisha, me, Miss Lynn, Scrutinized. A few people. We went out. Over the weekend. We had a great time. It was really good. It was nice food. We went to Little Italy and on what, I forgot what street that was. It was crowded downtown Chicago. Everybody was out, and there was a lot of cheeks out there getting clapped. I promise you, there's gonna be some babies made, man. It's gonna be some November babies. I'm telling you, it's gonna be some November babies. And from what I saw, these dudes was active. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little get together. It was like a mixer kind of situation, but the food was amazing. Now, those of you who know me know I love Italian food, Mexican food and Italian food I love, but it was so good. I couldn't believe how good that food was. Man, I usually don't mess around with people lasagna that ain't Brenda's. I don't mess around. But that lasagna, they had some chicken parmesan, oh God, even the salad was fire. The salad was fire. It was off the chain. I enjoyed the fellowship. We actually got a chance to talk about, it was good to see married people there though. That was the great thing. And I'm telling you, it's a treat to be able to talk to people who've been married a number of years that are willing to tell you, give you tips. And then it's not tips that people think you get tips. It's the normal, the same old, same old. But when married people give you really, really good nuggets of information, it does help you, even if you single relationships that you may develop. It helps you going into dealing with some of the things that married people actually deal with. One of the things that I'm going to deal with is having more than one bathroom. 3 would probably be the minimum for me because I'm not sharing a bathroom with my wife because I think you guys take showers longer than the whole Star Wars trilogy together. I mean, it's like 30 minutes later, shh, an hour later, shh. You just done the underarms. You washed an underarm for an hour. Your skin come out look like you got gills up in this mug. It has to be 3 bathrooms. But it was great to hear married people talk. I love to hear married people talk. I really do. I like to hear married people talk about their situations and how they deal with stuff. Yeah, he said I have 3. That's good because you don't need it. But I like to hear, seriously, I want to have married people on here one day just to talk. Listen, just to tell us. Talk to us. We need the help. Our marriages don't last long. So if those people who are married and you've been married at least 5 years, we need to hear from you. We need to hear from you. We need to hear you talk. More of us need to hear you talk because you represent what we're trying to do. And like I said, most of our marriages end up in divorces. So those of you who are married a few years, we need to hear from you. We need to hear from you. We need to talk to you. We need to ask you questions. And trust me, I'm going to ask the real questions. I ain't going to skate around it. I'm going to ask you the real question. I'm going to make you answer them jokers too. I'm definitely going to do that. But anyway, Willie, if you want to come on here, that'd be great. I'd love to have you on here. Were you on here before? I'm not sure if you were on here before. But I'd love to have you on here and some married people. But anyway, I'm going to jump off of here, have my fruit and water, and keep my weight loss journey going. I hope, y'all should join it with me, though. Y'all, those of you who want to drop some weight before summertime, join on this thing with me. Let's do it together, pause. Let's do this. I fast in the morning, at least 12 hours, or 8 hours if you can. Man, he said, okay, Chris said that's a blessing. He's been at it for 17 years. That's a blessing, bro. And I know it's a learning process. Man, believe it or not, I'm still learning. I'm still learning some things about me, some things that I need to change, some things that I need to work on as it relates to how I deal with stuff. There's some changes I need to make. And if I'm going to be married, then there's some things I need to deal with. And that's called being 100. But it's a learning process. And as you learn somebody else, especially bringing somebody in here or wherever I move to, definitely it's got to be a learning process because I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to be transparent for a second. I can be easily annoyed. There's certain things that easily annoy me. And I know I need to work on that. You know, because I tend to be, I'm going to be honest, I tend to be serious a lot. And when I'm serious, I'm in serious mode. And so sometimes, you know, some people can be a little bit more joyful than I am. And I need to learn how to be joyful with them as opposed to being serious all the time. But I am serious. I'm a serious person at times. I could be funny. Y'all see it. But when I'm in serious mode, when it's something I'm passionate about, sometimes I need to be able to not be more accepting of somebody not being as, you know, passionate about something as I am. And I can be more accepting to the fact that they may not look at it like that. Now, some things still going to annoy me, but I can do better. That's me being transparent. And I think I definitely got to work on that. But some things I'm always going to be passionate about. I'm passionate about the things of Christ. I'm passionate about, you know, where I see us going as a people. I'm passionate about social issues. I'm passionate about business decisions. But I can work on some other things. You know, I don't have to be so serious all the time. But I'm about my Father's business. So when it's that, don't mess with me. When I get there, y'all see me when I'm ready to cook on here. Some of y'all be like, oh, he cooking now. Yeah, that's when you don't try me. That's when you don't try me. My mom even said, yep, she know how I am. She knows I can be real serious. I can be real serious. And it's great to have leaders like that because they stay focused. but sometimes it's good to kind of chill and, and laugh. Now, I can be really silly, really. But like I said, I can work with understanding people not like me. And some things that are serious to me, they like, it ain't that deep. It's not that deep. But that's me being transparent. But I love you guys. I really do. You could be anywhere, but you are here, and I really, really appreciate you. We will be going live again Monday. I want to tell you, that sports show going to be lit. I wish I had the B-roll for you that I could show you. But that sports show is going to be lit. If you like sports, you're going to like the sports life. You're going to like it because we're going to talk about this stuff. LeBron ain't going to, Rick Robinson, I'm calling you out. I'm not going to be talking about LeBron all the time unless it's a story. If it's a story, I'm going to talk about him. Now, here's my thing. ESPN like to be twerking it up for him. So, hey, if they keep pushing it out, it's going to be a story. But I'm not going to be talking about LeBron all the time. I'm going to be talking about basketball, football, baseball if it's good or whatever. But I'm going to start rolling out. The first videos will be probably posted either this Friday. I'm still working. I got work to do this week, so it's going to be around that. But I'm definitely going to start putting out those videos. They're going to come in regular videos at first, okay? They're going to be regular videos, and then live will happen a bit eventually. But I want you guys to go subscribe. I'm going to put the link up. Go subscribe so you'll already be ready for when these videos start to pop. But you're going to enjoy the content. It's going to be off the chain, okay? But I'm about to jump off of here. But I love you guys so much. I'm not even going to do, I guess I'll do my ending show. You know what? I'm going to do something a little different. And this going to make some of you mad, but I'm going to play it anyway. I like this song, man. This song goes hard. But anyway, I love you guys. I'm about to jump off of here.